Hey everyone, welcome to another one of our posts. In this opportunity, I'll be presenting a demonstration of a platform called ClickUp, which helps organizing small teams, projects, or even companies until they reach a level in which project management becomes essential. This platform can be easily run or admin by any member of the team, since it is surprisingly intuitive. Thought of sharing it with you since it can be useful if you're working for a very small company or a newly added startup. Whether you are a developer, QA, BSA, or any other role related to IT, there's a chance that you find yourself working in a project that was not organized at all, especially small projects or startups. Since PM is taken into account most commonly in later stages of a company, we sometimes feel the need to organize the teamwork a bit in order to increase our efficiency. We will now go on a tour through this platform and explore its different features and attributes. ClickUp also includes a paid version, but for the nature of our aim, we will explore the free one, which includes everything we need. We will start our tour by exploring the board view, since it's the most familiar one. This is what we most commonly find in applications like Jira and any other project tracking applications. We have a board defined by a set of columns, which are defined by the user. One cool feature ClickUp has is that you can save these statuses and then import to other workspaces. This workspace was built just for the sake of this presentation and counts only on a few boards, but we can add as many as we want. Let's dive deeper in our board and see what options we have when creating tasks. When creating tasks, we can also assign users, and it's worth mentioning that only users who were invited via mail will be displayed here, and only those users will be able to access this workspace. If I open this link in a private tab, for example, I won't be able to access. Apart from this, we can also assign different priority levels. We can create tags or labels to identify our tasks. Then, title and description. We can add checklists, relationships if we want to link this task to another, and attachments. We can of course create subtasks if we want to divide a task in minor pieces. For example, here I broke UI UX design task into two subtasks, which would be search bar design and landing appearance, each one with different priority levels and due dates. Also, you can add tags, different descriptions, different information. We have a few options to move our tickets along the board. First one, simpler one, just by dragging it and letting it land in the column you want it to. For example, let's say that UI UX is in progress now. We just drag it here and the status is updated. Other way is once you are into the task details, we can select the column we want, or either we can let it follow its natural course. For example, first it's in the backlog, then will be in progress, then will be completed, and then it'll be in production. But we should remember that we have two subtasks here, so we won't be able to promote it to production if these tasks are not finished. Let's see what happens. Once we send it into production, we are let know that we have two subtasks that are unresolved, and we have the option of resolving it this way or continuing without resolving these items. Let's resolve them. So now we have our ticket in production. Let's explore what options we have available for project statuses. Project statuses are divided by active statuses, done and closed. Since I defined production in a closed status, that's why previously I got a reminder that I could not promote the task if its subtasks were not closed. So here's where we define this. And the cool feature of this is that we can save that to a preset, right? So here I saved the preset as Softensity. So for example, if we want to use these same statuses in another board, let's say a box board, we can import this, right? Let's enter the board view. Here, as we see, these are the default statuses. We go to edit and select our space status. We hit on save. And now our board is good to go. Although board view may be the most used one, we can also look at our info in different formats. For example, let's take a look at Gantt format. With this format, we can view maybe in a more clear way the inheritance of the different tasks and subtasks. We can also view the dates, both the start and finish of each task and subtask in a more graphic way. We can also use a calendar in which we can import holidays from different countries, and we see our due dates and start dates for the different tasks. Last, we have our list view. It's the same information displayed in different formats, so you can pick the one you like the most. Let's dive even a bit deeper in our options with ClickUp. With ClickUp, we can set automations. Automations are sets of rules that, given a certain scenario, we get a certain reaction. We have lots of different options to explore with this. But let's take an example from real life. Let's say I'm a QA, right? And we are here in our box board. We should have a status that's called rejected. One thing that happens often is that a bug fix reaches testing or pre-prod environment or even production, but it's not really fixed. The correction is not good. So we should have a column that indicates this. Here we have our rejected board. And now what I want is that whenever I move a bug to rejected board, I want the priority set to urgent, because that fix will need to be out as soon as possible. So let's do this. Here we go to statuses and select this condition. When status changes, then change priority. So we will select from any status to rejected status, change priority to urgent. Now we created our first rule or automation. So let's now go ahead and log our first bug. Now let's say the developer moves it to done because it's fixed, but then QA tests it and notice that it's not working fine. So we move that to rejected. As soon as we do that, the automation is triggered and the priority of this bug is raised. As we see here, it is now urgent. Let's now move aside from our boards a bit. Let's explore other features that ClickUp has to offer. For example, we can set dashboards in which we can view statistics or task lists and plenty of other things that will actually be in the paid version. And though ClickUp pricing is not high at all, the aim of this video is to share with you, with mostly every role in IT, the knowledge of this platform. Because at least it happened to me that I worked in places in which we were like 5 or 6 people maybe, and But if you're a small team, you don't invest in project management, right? You manage the project between the people involved, and this can be a really useful tool for that purpose, right? So, and I think it even adds a bit of extra value to each one of us to get to know this, right? So let's say, for example, I'm a developer in a team of 10 people, and we are getting troubles regarding, maybe organization or efficiency. And since we are not using any kind of tracking application, and I go, hey, I know of this one. This one is free, so it wouldn't cost us nothing to try this and use this. And it can be a really useful tool for, I think, this particular situation. If a company grows bigger, we may need something more robust like Jira, right? Or start hiring project managers. But I think that this adds a lot of value for those startups or really small companies that are paving its way to become a larger team. We also have documents which we can create here or upload. Pretty basic, but we can, right? Otherwise, we can upload Word documents or PowerPoint presentations. Before wrapping this up, I want to show you real quick some of the settings that we are allowed to change in ClickUp. Notification settings is by far the most important one. We want to know whether a bug or a task has been promoted to, let's say, production or moved from column to column. And any change that we want to be notified of, we can set it here. Another really cool option we have, and this, I promise this will be the last thing we discuss about ClickUp, it's import and export, right? We can export our data from ClickUp in a CSV file, a comma-separated file, which we will see now, and then we can import it in another tracking application, right? Or even if we were using something before ClickUp, we can, if we have a CSV file with those settings, we can import it here, and we will see, right, our columns, our spaces, and our tags in ClickUp, right? So let's take a look at our file. So let's now take a look at our CSV file. Here we see the info from both boards. We have here our tasks, we have our bug, and all the other info that we included in those tickets, right, or cards. This feature is nice to have because most of the tracking applications have this import and export function. So we don't lose our work if we migrate from one platform to another. In the other case, we can import directly from this selected platforms, or we can upload our CSV file, right? We need to do, of course, a manual mapping of the fields, because in a CSV I can include whatever field I think, right? So by doing this manual mapping, we make sure that our info is imported in the right place. And that would conclude this presentation. I hope you liked it, and I certainly hope you found it useful. Thank you for watching.